Thank you to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video about Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. We know what you're thinking here, so let's just get it out in the open and talk about it. Yes, we've all wanted to be Mark Wahlberg at some point in our life. Sure, you may deny it outwardly or even in the comments of this video, but the truth is, we all want to dance in our own funky bunch, make some burgers, and be a special ops soldier trapped behind enemy lines, fighting for our lives against an enemy that sure as shit never saluted an American flag before a football game. Well, while we can't help you with the funky bunch or the burgers, we can help you with the last one. This is Mark Wahlberg's, this is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Following up on 2017's Ghost Recon Wildlands, Breakpoint is a third-person, open-world military tactical shooter that once again drops you into the boots of the Ghosts, a super badass elite US Special Operations fighting force that looks to bring justice via true American values like kicking ass, driving vehicles, flying things, and blowing stuff up. Hell yeah! Wildlands itself rebooted the 18-year-old Ghost Recon franchise. Moving away from the more linear gameplay and futuristic timelines of the previous games, Wildlands introduced the franchise into open-world gameplay, and with it came a massive map and vehicles, character and weapon customization, and a chance for you to explore the beautiful landscape while taking out bad guys and completing side missions. And while Wildlands took place in a fictional, very fictional, I cannot stress enough, fictional version of the South American country of Bolivia, Breakpoint takes place in an ecologically diverse Pacific archipelago known as Aroa? It's like Aurora, but it's missing the second R. So, yeah. The Pacific archipelago of Ohio has gone quiet, which wouldn't be such a big deal, but Acura is also home to the high-tech company Skeltech. And because America needs its iPads, you and your ghost pals are sent in on a recon mission to find out what's going on. Unfortunately, when you arrive, your helicopters are shot down by angry Amazon delivery drones, leaving you injured and stranded behind enemy lines. And it's not just the drones that are trying to kill you. An ex-US military group known as the Wolves have taken over the island and are hunting you down. They've gone through the same training as you, and their leader is your former Ghost brother-in-arms, Colonel Cole D. Walker, which some of you may recognize from the most recent Wildlands update, Operation Oracle. Furthermore, Colonel Walker is voiced by John Bernthal, who was the Punisher, so yeah, unless you're Netflix, you're probably going to have a hard time taking him out. In Breakpoint, Ubisoft is looking to enhance the open-world freedom that came with Wildlands by creating a deeper, more realistic experience for its players. For example, injuries stick around. That means no more hiding behind the mystical healing crate or enchanted rejuvenating rock this time. If you've been tagged in the leg, when you go to move, you're going to be limping your way across the battlefield. And if a team member goes down, they can't just respawn and rejoin the fight. You'll need to pick them up and carry them to safety to revive them. Side note, you can also pick up and carry dead enemies if you're someone who prefers stealth over direct conflict, or someone who just likes to throw dead bodies off of cliffs. Hey, listen, don't judge me. You will also have to deal with fatigue and stress, and the environment has its own set of dynamic hazards. If you're not paying attention to where you're running, you may find yourself quickly sliding down the side of a steep hill or a mountain, which sure may help put some distance between you and your pursuers, but at the cost of injuries, and that's going to further slow you down. Good news is while being hunted, you can also use prone cover and camouflage yourself by covering your body in mud and hope that the enemy forces walk right by you. According to Ubisoft, all of this is to give the player a much closer look at what it means to be a special ops soldier in a dangerous environment. We assumed that they were just recreating that one scene from Predator, but apparently they even had former special ops troops involved with the creation of the game, so I guess it turns out Predator was actually a documentary, and if there's any other takeaway to take from this, I really don't want to hear it. It's not just the environment that's more deadly in Breakpoint either. In Wildlands, you at least knew your mission. In Breakpoint, you don't know anything. You have no briefing, no intel, nothing. Aside from the fact that there's a warehouse full of iPads somewhere on this island that needs liberating. You're behind enemy lines and cut off from any type of support. You'll have to build alliances and recruit allies to get the information you need. And then you can use that information along with weather forecasts to make informed decisions on where to strike and when. And during those missions, you can choose how to handle not only the enemies, like, run and gun or stealth, but also what to do at the end. So, for example, let's say you clear out a drone factory on the island. Well, what do you do with it now? Sure, you could blow it up, which would be cool, or maybe you just repurpose those drones to work for you instead. And then you blow it up, because America. Ubisoft is leaning hard into delivering a better story with Breakpoint. They've promised interesting cutscenes and the inclusion of dialogue options, and it's said that the player's choices will affect the overall story. Obviously, telling a story in an open world environment versus that of a straightforward linear experience is a bit more challenging, but it seems like Ubisoft is trying to make a more in-depth and interactive story in Breakpoint versus that of previous Ghost Recons. But often the greatest story of all is the one you write with your friends, and that usually starts and ends with explosions. Breakpoint will naturally support 4-player co-op at launch, and you'll have 4 choices when it comes to classes. There's Assault, Sharpshooter, a stealthy engineer class called Panther, and Field Medic. You know, thinking about it, I probably should have saved the Panther one for last. It kind of makes the Field Medic feel not as cool. Guys, listen, I'm sure the Field Medic is just as cool as the Panther. As you make your way across Aurora Borealis, you'll be looting weapons, equipment, and attachments off of dead bodies, out of crates, etc. You get the idea. And in between missions, you'll be able to change your class, customize your loadout, heal up, and rest up at your bivouac. But don't get too comfy, because Ubisoft promises both regular and random enemy patrols across the island. Ubisoft also announced that Breakpoint will have both PvE and PvP modes at launch, and that your progress will be saved and updated across all modes. They've also added that driving has been improved based on feedback from Wildlands, and thank God! Because I can't tell you how many times I went rolling down a mountain with my friends in a pickup truck while trying to save totally not real Bolivia. After launch, Ubisoft plans on adding even more content to Breakpoint. There will be new story arcs, new features, new classes, events, and for in-game content, Ubisoft will be adding raids to Breakpoint. We're told that the raids are co-op only, but the first one is supposedly a Bond villain-esque volcano fortress, and I've gotta be honest with you, that sounds kind of awesome. With Breakpoint, it looks like Ubisoft wants to deliver an experience based a bit more on reality without forgetting what made Wildlands fun. In Breakpoint, you'll explore the lands of Orzo with your friends, take down bad guys all tactical-like, deal with the challenges of being behind enemy lines, and yes, most importantly, live out most of your Mark Wahlberg fantasies. If that sounds like something you're interested in, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint is launching on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 4th of this year. You can learn more by following the link in the description. You can learn more about Breakpoint, with the link. If you want to know more about Mark Wahlberg, I think Lawrence has a copy of Transformers 4. Just DM him on Twitter and he'll probably let you borrow it. Thanks again to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. I'm Aaron Porter and this is Inside Gaming.